What's up? Whew. What a week. How's everybody doing today? It has been a thing, believe it or not. I don't know what has, but I feel like the week has been a crazy, crazy thing, which I'm excited about because it's been busy. Can't show that stuff. Trying to fix a window without. Anyways, everybody have a good week. I was dying to come on because I got the kid tomorrow. Yo, what's up, dude? Dude, that was wicked the way you played yesterday. I was like, man, I want to play, but I know if I go and play, it's literally going to be like, I suck at everything. I'm going to be reminded that it's going to take me like another 5 years to freaking remember how to play all that stuff. Plus, doing PC instead of, Xbox. Like, are you playing on a controller? Are you? I know. It's funny. I was bragging it once. I was like, dude, I can totally render and play video games at the same time. And then reality set in, and I realized, nah, I'm not going to be able to do both. Like, if I try running Photoshop and rendering at the same time, my computer's just like, what are you, stupid? I look over and that thing's, mouse. Yeah, I look over and that thing's like, you're crazy. You're totally doing like, I was clocking it like 181 degrees, and I was like, that's probably bad. I don't know what I'm supposed to be at. Controller was good back then too, but what are you gonna do? I'm trying to get this volume set here right, but I can't. All right, I'm gonna find this thing. So the Porsche, this thing was fun to shoot. I'm trying to get, let's see here, layered. Find the good stuff. Looking for the good files here. I don't know which one's which. I don't know what Celsius is. It'd be like telling me your net worth is like £1 billion. I wouldn't know. Let's see size. It doesn't want to tell me size. One. I'm gonna guess this one's closer to final than the others. This puppy. Usually I try and drive whatever it is I'm shooting. I didn't get to drive this one. I'm kind of bummed. It was like, I gotta open up my CG program here. So, not, yeah, I know, I can't use the tools. Yeah, dude. So here's let me see if I can pull up the entire. Pull up the article here. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. It's funny when the products I use get advertised to me. Here. Yeah, dude. So let's see here. So we've got. I don't want that crap. Go full screen on this MFer. So we'll go to reviews. There she is. Tested. This guy's awesome, by the way. Gotta follow him on Instagram. Derek Powell. So the Porsche Taycan Turbo S Cross Turismo is super quick. Super car quick. is super car quick. There's a reason that we just do imagery here and not talk as much. But yeah, so it's 50 images. It was a thing, man. This was definitely a lot of work. We went out and met the took the driver out. Where did we go? Where did they go to testing? I don't know if I can say, so I'm not going to say it. But went out and met the one of the other. It was like a 3-day shoot, 2-day shoot, 3 vehicles. It was a lot, and yeah, and went out, met up, went to the hotel nearby, charged it. It was below. So this is crazy. So it was below. What should I have taken pictures? It was below 50% charge, and then we went and basically plugged it in. I went to go grab a burger from McDonald's because I was starving. I couldn't take it anymore, and we literally rolled up. Sure enough, the thing was like just cruising past 85. This thing was totally below half. Cruise. It was like 10, 15 minutes. I mean, it was so amazing how fast this thing charged. I couldn't believe it. I was kind of in shock. I think even the writer was like, yeah, I don't really want to, you're not supposed to charge it full because, with with the battery, you don't want to do that stuff. But he kind of gave me a few options. We talked about places we wanted to shoot, and I was like, oh man, it'd be really cool. You mentioned some places in downtown LA. And then I had reached out to some people and like, oh man, where are we going to go between here and say Lancaster, I think it was. And then we had gotten kind of the point where it was like, do downtown LA like the next day. But I had to do 3 cars in 2 days. So I was a pretty exhausted-ish with, because I was, the vehicles I probably can't talk about yet. But, yeah, I had to get 3 cars, 2 days. And so, yeah. So the writer had mentioned the poppy fields, and I was like, dude, that would be awesome. This thing, does it have the price here? Yeah. Base as tested, $188,950. Or as tested, $204,000 car. Just below, was that $250,000 for a vehicle? But man, this thing's pretty. You could change the height and everything. It was pretty wicked. So, we're like downtown LA, or we could do like Gorilla through LA. And we were like, hey, what about these poppy fields? And I was like, I think the poppy fields are calling to me. And the way, like, normally when I do this stuff, I'll go to like Instagram and I'll look up. I wonder if I can do that. And I'll look up like keywords. Give me a second. I'm trying to be as resourceful as possible. Yeah, basically. Yeah, so if I can go, let me see if I can go Lancaster Poppies. Yeah, so basically, this thing, try to pull this, and these windows do not want to cooperate. So I basically pulled up Lancaster Poppies, and then you can go to top post, or you go to most recent. And look at this. This is what? Posted April 23rd. So I knew right then and there, like, we were going to be in luck, right? Because if we had gone here, so it's basically a way, like pre-scout the location, right? Look at all this beautiful poppies. And I looked at some other places, but yeah, so normally if you go to Instagram and you look up your location, it'll have like most recent. Yeah, 200K, bro. It'll go to most recent, and then you can kind of find out where you're going and what it looks like. The problem was, that's all the poppies that were there when we were there. So the debate ends up being like, you know, well, first of all, like I've been working with car driver, I don't know, creative director there, Darren, for probably since 2004 maybe. It's been a long time. That dude's awesome. And I'm always like, oh, I want to Photoshop stuff in the image, and that's kind of like, you know, what I'm like known for is Photoshopping the stuff. And I was like, man, you know, I've been doing this CG stuff. Let me see if I can pull up. And I'm like, man, you know, it would really nice to final JPEGs here. Maybe really cool. Because, you know, if we had just been there like a week or two later, it would have been really neat to basically get all these poppies. But I couldn't. So I was like, well, I could CGI them in there. Granted, when I said that, I did not realize they were going to be that they would want 50 images. So literally, this is more or less what it looked like. But literally, I had to go, and in a week's worth of time, this was shot literally last Friday. I want to say it was last Friday. Literally. Yeah. And then I get, you know, well, no, it was shot, yeah, shot last Friday. And then I gave them the images. They made selects. So I had to make selects, send them back. And then they gave me their list of 50. And I was like, oh, I did one. I did the first, like, the static shot. I was like, man, let's do this. This is what I want to do. Like, can I do that? And they're like, yeah, go for it. Looks good. Because I'm like, if we had been there, say, 2-3 days later, or not 2 or 3 weeks later, it would look like this. So technically, I'm not. The images aren't fake. I'm just fast forwarding them 2-3 weeks into the future. Right? This is time travel. So the writer wanted super bloom. I was like, let's do super bloom. Plus, I did a whole bunch of. I'm trying to see if I have the shots here. Yeah, so I shot domes too, of the areas that had lots of poppies. But man, these things, they're not like cranking. These aren't exactly massive amounts of poppies. So I thought, well, I want to shoot the HDRI domes. So that way I can then shoot backplates to then drop CGI vehicles in there. But then also make reference for what, you know, the poppies would look like if I had shot with a bunch of them. I mean, let's see how far off here in terms of realistically what this would look like. And that's the thing with photography. Like half the time, like what you want isn't where you're shooting it, and like I can't get poppies all over the place where the vehicle is, so I've got to like shoot the stuff and drop it in. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're really just representing, you know, the vehicle and the design and what it looks like, and kind of the thing. So yeah, so I got these reference images. And then we went through. I'm actually going to. What image number is this? This is 3169. So I'm going to go to open that file. 5169. Here we go. Now, I did like 2 versions of these, right? Basically, the objective was to I had to render a version. That was the other thing. How many? Let me go to my CG window here. Let's see if I can get this to work. How many versions of renders am I going to need? Does this look right? Sorry, give me a second, guys. Just need to scale this. Scale that one. It's like preset up, but I have to like. I don't even have my render window open. There's the problem. Let's just get that going here. Yeah. So basically, when I create this, there's 2 renderings that I have to do. I have to do one version that has the vehicle in it, and then one that's just like the poppies. Because basically, I'm trying to combine the 2, best of both worlds. So, in order to do that, I'm trying to get you guys like the right setup here. 1 second. Render window. This sucks. Render view. Oh, there it is. Weird. Sorry, guys. That's why. Why isn't this working? This is annoying because it's certainly annoying for me. There we go. Just can't change the size of this. Almost there, guys. I'm so sorry. Make this pleasant so it's not so miserable. But instead, I'm going the other way. There we go. I'm gonna open my materials window here. So that works. There we go. Had to be you. Materials. Cool. Yay, looks like I fixed it. All right, that took too long. Transition, here we go. Yay. All right, so here we are. So we've got this guy here. So basically what I had to do is, this kind of gives you the whole scene here. So you've got your camera set up. Just click on this object. So we're done. So I got my camera here, right? And then this is my entire forest object right here. So if I click on my forest pieces, come on, rapid tools. Everything freaks out when I just start streaming. You know what? I'm gonna collapse this. Okay. What are my layers here? All the poppies on this layer here. And then I have my settings for my poppies. This thing's it's not a massive file, but with all the poppies, it definitely. Just fixing one more thing. Okay, let's try that again. So we got all this stuff here. Here are our flowers. So we can turn them, look in the render window. I'm gonna turn them on. Okay. Turn them on and off here. See, we got them over the top. So it'll only show up in the render window. And what I've done is, in order to get these little spaces here in the actual frame, is I've gone in and you create these let me control everything. Apparently, if you have, what, 5, 6 windows open, this thing is not happy. Bridge, Photoshop, 3ds Max, and so I can add, let's see what's time. So basically these are splines, right? This is the egg. This is the egg-shaped spline, and then I have the circle spline. And basically what I've done is, through the Force Pack tools that iTools software makes, we've gone in and where it says areas here, we've actually got, let's cut that out. We actually got like our areas in here, and I can include and exclude them. So like the eggs, and then that basically creates breaks in the areas where basically I want the ground to kind of show. The other cool thing about this is that I can control my fall off here, and this allows me to get smaller or larger. You can kind of see here. So if you look here, so see how I've got like smaller, looks fakish, but if I get smaller poppies here and then larger poppies here, I can then control this here. Like if I turn the fall off, these will go right back to regular size, and I had scale fall off. And then what you can do is there's a curve here, like you would do in Photoshop. And you could adjust your curve and control how you want the fall off to be. Like if you want smaller and then larger, or like you can literally just mimic the exact shape you want the fall off to be. That's exactly what you get based on these shapes. And then you can choose how big. Like I've got 2,500 centimeters on, or 25,000. This thing is, I think, the whole scene is 400,000 centimeters across. And then you set up your camera. So yeah, and the other cool thing is, so then I can go to, so I've got my surface area, which is this plane that I've made. So I've gone here, I've turned it off. I'm gonna go to my plane 1, which is my main plane. And this is the surface that the actual poppies are on, right? So if I go to, I'm on edit my poly there, which I don't want. So this is the actual surface area that I've built. To give you an idea. So I had to make this plane, and it kind of mimics the shape of the field in the background. And then I can control the fall off on the actual force pack of the poppies in relationship to the camera. That way it's not as dense going to the background. They get all like pixely and granulated looking towards the back there. So you kind of have to like find a happy medium. This thing does not like having 4 applications. Dude, I'm pushing this this NVIDIA 3090 to the max, which makes you think, is the AMD 64 Threadripper better than the 32? Anybody know? I'm thinking about spending the extra money, but I don't really have a reason to other than streaming. So you get this kind of like weird breakup in the background, but I faded into this shot anyways, which is kind of how this ends up happening. So what I did is I exported 2 versions, right? I've got the version with, you guys can't see that because I'm in CGI right now, but I've got the version with the car. I'm gonna turn my plane off. So you choose the plane, the surface that you want the thing to go to. The other cool thing is you then go to, I can choose these. So these are the different types of poppy flowers. Let me go here and turn this on just for a second. You guys can see. So I brought this back. I brought this actually in from the force pack, and that's in the other video. And what I'm planning on doing is actually throwing a few shots up raw like this and the actual CG files, so that way people can download them. Those links will be available on Behance and YouTube is where I'll throw that up. So you have these, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the original poppies. So these are the flower packs from the Forest Pack software. Basically, these are the 3 groups. You can see these of flowers that you get, right? I'm gonna go to change my view here so you can see what they look like ish. But yeah, so that's all you get. These just groupings of different poppies. And then I can do, and then what I do is on the force pack, they're then represented by the 3 objects. And I can choose, I can control the size of the poppies, the width, how often these poppies are distributed, the scale, the type of scattering, and you can literally use bitmap images of textures to then layer in how you want that to actually work and be laid out. So like I can, so here's each one of those clusters, right? So here I've got the scale of this is 100%, but the probability is 75. So like each one's just kind of different to kind of change it up. And then what I'll do is in my areas, is it the areas? No, it's going to be in my distribution. So the distribution here, it's in full distribution mode, which means these poppies are packed, right? Because it's totally empty. Now what I can do is I can go to patches and see in the rendering, refresh the rendering so you can see it. It changes, it'll change the arrangement of the groupings of poppies, see? And I can, using the units, I can then make it less dense by going higher, and then they'll open up more. Or I can go even more dense. I think the lowest it'll let me go is 42,000. It's super dense. We get super crazy poppies. But I'm just kind of walking through stuff now to just, there's like an intro trailer to all this. But I will go probably, hopefully I have time next week. Next week or this weekend, maybe Sunday. Maybe I'll get a day off. Maybe it won't be dad day all day. And I'll actually go from start to finish on these. Because I think one of the things I want to do, and the coolest thing about this stuff is, right, like for me, I couldn't tell right off the bat. Here, I'm going to go back to Photoshop here. I'm just going to walk you through these. I couldn't tell right off the bat that these were fake or real. So that's when I was like, oh, I might be onto something. Because for some reason, so that's a real poppy. This is fake. Let's see if I can turn these on and off here. The color grading. The color grading was done by our good boy, Vikas Sharma, over at Vikas Sharma Studios. Great post-production, great retouching. And you know, the thing I do is, because I'm looking at these things all day long, every day, I like to go and just have somebody else take a peek towards the end. And so basically what I did for Vikas, so I basically threw these shots in there and I'm like, hey, look, this is what I'm looking to do. We want to keep the color of the car and kind of bring out the coloring of the location. But that's it. That was kind of my only direction, was like, hey, you know, have at it. And then once we came back, he went in and kind of did his thing to these. Kind of gave me this, it's really cool, like this really brings out the green in here, which I hadn't thought about, because it kind of gets lost in the actual images. So I'll turn the color off. I'll turn the poppies off. And this just kind of gives you an idea of that. The other thing I couldn't find was these little like curly bob flower things here. It wasn't like I had to have them. What are they like? I think they're blossoming poppies. But you see, just by the layering, you can barely tell. There's a little bit of ghosting there because I didn't want it so heavy. Yeah, so is that a camera bag? No, that's a rock. So I'd kind of gone through these, and what I'd open up here was turn off my brushings, here my masks, my brightness, my contrast. Turn off this mask. Open this sucker up. That's off. I don't need to turn that one off. Not even the right shot. Where did that come from? I don't even know why that's in there. Oh, you know what I know what I did. It's funny. I photoshopped myself there for a second. I dropped in, I wanted these out of focus poppies back here. that I'd done on my first test to drop into the back there. You see, you get these like these weird. The cool thing about the I'll open this up so you can see. What are we in here? 3090 or 3169? 3169. So we'll go to our Porsche here. Let's see. There we go. So these are the two files that I used. And when you save them, when I render them, now what did I do? I did it as buckets, and then I save them as these EXR images. And so basically, the cool thing about these, so these things when they come in, they're rendered at they come in at 32-bit. So I immediately go 8-bit and then go to exposure gamma, which is the closest to what I had actually done it at, and then click OK. And then the cool thing is, when you save the rendering out, it gives you an alpha channel of the area that isn't the actual flowers. So then I can just click on that, turn it off. I'm still in a quick mask mode. And I'll just throw the mask on there, and these are just the flowers. Granted, I have the car and some of the background stuff in there, but that was the whole idea of being able to blend the CG with the reality, was to then get a little mix of that. And then I have this where I go, same thing, image mode, 8-bit, exposure gamma, okay. Go to my channel, click on the alpha mask, mask that. And then what I do is I'll just drop that in here. What about the color space? I'll close those. I won't save any of that stuff. Let's see here. We've got, make sure these are lined up here. I believe they are. So there are poppies, right? Turn everything but the image off. So I've got the poppies that I brought in. So that I've got two versions basically. I've got one without the car in it. These are just the poppies by themselves. Mask off so you can see. Same thing here with this one's, except I've got the background image in there to then kind of look like it's kind of seamless a little bit more with the other one. And then basically what I did is I went in here, I went to my hue and saturation, clipped it, brought the saturation down, threw in a little bit into the yellow, and then went to my curves, or brightness and contrast, moved it up, and then basically what I would do is I'd go back to the, duplicate this image, so we have the original. And then when I'm doing the coloring, I'm just looking at, all right, let's look at these two guys here. Right, this is the way it was shot. And the other thing I like to do is when I'm processing this stuff, I don't ever really like to make adjustments. I don't like to open up the camera raws directly into Photoshop. I'll go into Lightroom, grab those, and then come back and export them as TIFFs at the size that I want to be working in. For these, they requested 5,000 across. So for that reason, basically, I don't want to work any larger than that. The only thing I'm going to use this for is basically like probably web, social, uh, you know. And in the dream scenario, like, hey, Porsche wants to use them or whatever, then it's a separate budget, separate retouching, separate thing. They're only going to see it as big as you're going to see it on the. I mean, this is pretty small compared to. This isn't very big at all. In relationship to the size that you're going to see them. So another thing I do is on these shoots, like they don't give you like a shot list, right? You're really one thing that I used to do before was like I would like hang on to a shot list, right? I'm out there, you've got best light for like an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, and I'm just trying to figure out like, all right, what are they gonna want? And that's when you really get into like the car, what do you call it? Let's say like a gearhead mindset, right? Where you're kind of like, oh man, what is really cool about this car? You're like, oh well, the brakes are cool. The brakes were cool. I thought the inside is neat. The thing is, like, you're trying to feature this inside, so I'm literally bent over. Can I zoom in on this? Yeah, I can. I'm literally bent over on the floor trying to get into the car to shoot these shots. I mean, the inside's literally tiny if you read the specs. You can't even I'm like, how am I gonna do a rear, like a back, like an interior shot and show the back row and the inside? It's cool. I mean, this freaking front to rear freaking moonroof is awesome. So you want to feature that, right? Anything that you thought was cool, like the racing seats, the scoops, that's cool. I thought it was kind of neat that they put the Turbo S on the headrest. You want to see the detail of the seats, right? And then this is cool. This is a cool part where like I can kind of off the cuff and be like, oh man, what's really cool is it just kind of, we don't need to show the full interior because I've got that covered. Just show a little detail of like all the layering of the textures of the fabric and how they put this together, right? So you kind of get into the mindset of like, oh, what am I going to think I'm cool? And then it's like, oh, well, there's the display stuff's neat. Like all the battery information's kind of cool on the display there. This thing, it's like an homage to like, the old clock that you'd have on there. And then this has got like the elevation and the time and your compass. This like the way that they have algorithms designed to take what's around you and totally drop you in it is just freaking awesome. I love these little heads up display things. So there's no shot list, but it's like you got to all of a sudden take yourself out of like being a photographer and be like, all right, what is super cool about this car that the readers are going to want to know about, right? Like, where's the engine? It's electric. There's this, what do they call it? A funk? Or, I don't know if anybody can mention it. Here's the trunk. Here's the bonnet. So you get to kind of like, there's nothing beats freaking awesome bad shot. Even though you're like, what are they gonna use it for? Who cares? It just looks cool. I thought these lines on the hood were sexy because you look at this thing and it's just shaped like a bubble, right? And then you go through and you start seeing like the really neat parts, like the brakes, the ceramic brakes, the detail of like the headlights, this camera sensor thingy image. I don't even know. I think there's a hood, like an H. Look at these brakes. Look at all that crack. I just thought these textures are just so neat, man. I mean, because like when you're going super fast and you go to hit those brakes, they're freaking lighting up like rings of fire at night, which I wish we'd gotten, but we weren't really exactly in a place where we could light this car up and, do it at top speed. I love the like visible hidden handles on it. I thought that was cool. And just, just branding on this stuff's super sweet. So that's the thing, right? They want to see the car moving. They want to see the car still. You want to show off the lines, the design, like what this thing looks like in its natural habitat. Stuff like that is the kind of stuff you keep in mind when you're doing these things. And it was like, all right, once I'm there and I got these flowers, right? Like, it's a matter of like, all right, well, now I got to kind of get the brightness color right. So at this point, I'm just matching this all on one screen here. So I really wanted to just match the color of these with what I had, right? The only thing I noticed is like, it's funny because I wanted this to be just like the poppy fields that, we found on Instagram. But at the same time, they're not fully open yet. So, and the only CG poppies I had access to were ones that weren't open. So kind of get the brightness there, a little contrast, right? I'll get my saturation. Bring that in a little bit. Now, it's funny because it is a little bit more orange than it is yellow, even though you're like, yellow poppies. Like just in the middle there. So that's basically kind of matching the color. So then once I get kind of like the color going, it's still even a little yellower than I would like. That's it, right? You find happy medium between reality and what you want. So, excuse me, soda water gets to me. Do you have any questions? Or silence out there, which I don't mind. Because then I can freely talk about what the hell matters to me. So, right, I got to do this 27 times in a week to get all this stuff done. So I've got that image which has all this crap on it, right? Which kind of blends it into the other background. Then I also have this version, which not for this image per se, but for the other ones. I definitely ended up having to go down, and then I would end up rendering a lighter version because I can go back in there, darken it, still all the detail, the highlights and the shadow areas. That was another thing. So once I got this image in there, right, I wanted to get rid of all the bigger so you guys can see. So I wanted to get rid of all the crap that I didn't need, right? Another thing, I didn't want these bushes in there and that other stuff. I kind of had this stuff creeping up into the wheel here. At first, I was thinking I had to get rid of all this stuff, but then I ended up being fine with it. So let's go through our layers here now. So this is the first poppies that I dropped in that we were looking, right? The clean version. Dropped in some of my color adjustments to try and get it to match. Then I needed the shadow. So here's just the shadow being cast from the vehicle. I believe there was just, yeah, you can see the sun's there. You're getting hot spots on the sun. So I definitely, hey, Poppy. I definitely wanted to keep that in there and be able to match that. Because then again, I'm trying to keep the realism of what was there, but also fast forward 2 weeks into the future and take it to where I wanted. So I'm actually going to, I'm going to go back to the open version of this. Just turn this off. So that's that stuff there. Those are the poppies that I brought in. Now, the other section was, let me turn this off so you see what I'm talking about here. So we've got these in here now. Once I've got that done, got the poppies in there, I'm pretty happy with them. I think at some point, what I even did was, I want to double check. So I tried playing with these, right, to get them in there. But see this, I'm getting back there. I couldn't do it. And I believe, double check this. Yeah, so what I did was, I did I think I deleted it already, but I'm going to go back and do it again. what I did was I would take these layers, I duplicate them so I'm original, right? I'm going to apply the layer mask. So these are the poppies I'm looking at. And then what I would do is I would basically pretend like, all right, my camera's focus is right, literally right here. Oop, I'm just masking everything out. The focus is right here. Nope, nothing wants to show up. All right. There we go. Focus is right here. So the fall off starts here. Looks like it ends. Well, yeah, you can see stuff. Even, yeah, there's even a little bit. You see the edge of the car here get a little soft. And another thing I have to do is, usually when I do this stuff, I have to go back. And one thing that's really important, and I'm just going to switch to the CG here really quick. So you can see another thing that's extremely important is to go back into bridge. And what I do is I go into the image information. I don't even know if the metadata is in the JPEG, but yeah, here. See, this is focal length. Focal length, this is 54. So I had to go to the CG, the camera. So I go to my camera here and set focal length 54. So the camera matches exactly with what I had shot. And then for me, the f-stop here is 1.5 because I want that depth of field fall off, which I had an issue with and actually had to reach out to somebody and be like, hey, what's going on here? So with that said, go back to Photoshop here. So all that stuff has to line up. And then what I would do is I would take, I'd be on this layer. Here's my poppies. Poppy, where do you go, Poppy? There we go. Go here, and I'd take my gradient. I want my, what's this called? Reflected gradient, they call it. And I'd put that in there. Like that, right on the mask, right? Like if it were, all right. So my focus would be here, the fall off would end up here and here. So then what I would do is I'd unlink it, I'd hit shift click to hide it. I'd go to the image and I would go filter, blur, lens blur. Now with this, I can then go, all right, it's giving me a preview. And I can actually control the depth map of my fall off on the blur here is the layer mask, which is now hidden, so I don't have to see it. So this allows me, zoom in here a little bit. Apparently, that's a lot of bit. I don't know about anybody else who uses Photoshop and a Wacom tablet, but I have had glitches for days with this PC. So you can control how much fall off you want and how out of focus I want this to get based on that mask that I just set up. So that's what I did to the image. And that allows me to kind of get a little bit more fall off on some of these flowers, or even, I think the stuff in the back ended up being super sharp, which is the reason I wanted to go back and do that. So that's that. And basically, once I had that done, it was a matter of, all right, how do I solve this issue with the fall off? And I noticed, all right, I got that much blur on the mountaintop there. This is probably the amount of blur I can get away with here on these poppies here. So I brought in the CG Poppies from the other image. This folder and a folder and a folder. This one. This is my original. Turn off my color. And in here's up. Oh, this one, this shot. So this thing. Oh, hide that. Turn all these other masks off. So this is that shot from the other one that I brought in to then bring this little bit in, because it's basically kind of at the same angle, but I wanted to keep some of that fall off there. I really liked that in that one. And that one I had done the same way I'd done this one, but because of the lower camera angle, I don't get to see that. So then I kind of blended that in to my background there, and you can kind of see, granted, now that I'm looking at it, I mean, this doesn't look horrible. Why didn't I just go? Probably OCD or tired, who knows? I didn't like that as much as this, which is funny because now it looks fake now that I'm looking at it. You know, I left some of the real flowers in there, and you can't tell the difference. Unless you can, but I couldn't. So that's the story with that. And I kind of use some of this brightness and contrast to blend it back in here. The command tools don't want to work. I like this little out of focus element here in the foreground. And of course we have the color. So yeah, that's basically how that happened 27 times. I don't know what I was thinking. It was great to kind of like, you know, be on this CGI journey and go the route of adding in all these CGI poppies in here. This was a fun one too. The shot. Yeah, so that's the deal with that. I'm going to continue playing here. If you guys want to continue on, you're welcome to. If not, I will post a start to finish on this sometime on Instagram, and I'll go over how this whole thing went down from start to finish. But now I think I kind of want to play with, I think I'm going to open my PTI GUI. I'm going to make that, what do you call it? The dome from my, the shoot. Hold on here, I gotta switch windows. I just moved an entire. One second here. All right. So here's kind of where we're at. I have to choose my pictures here. Sort by kind, right? Make sure everything in here is a dome. It's not. All right, so I gotta. These are all JPEGs. I want the RAWs. 52, 52. This is annoying to have to do it this way. I don't know if PT GUI works with RAWs. It looks like I'm about to find out. I thought it did. I remember having to make TIFFs. The idea is you're going to make a 32-bit image that'll then bring in to 3ds Max. All right. I'll bring this one over here so you guys can see it. So it's asking me crop factor, length, digital sensor. I have this picked out as my EOS R5. The hell? Not recognize your camera. Please fill in one of the fields below if you have any idea. Click preset. I don't know. Oh wait, always use the data. Nope. Let's just see what happens. So it brings in, oh look, it works with RAWs. So it brings in everything here. Enable HDR mode. Okay. So this will put together quick align images. So it's going to put together all the images that I shot and then stitch together a CGI. Here we go. Because analyze your images, but able to match all of them. To align images, you'll need to add a few control points manually. Okay. I don't want to do this. 12 images now, any control points. This thing. In this section. I'm guessing there's an image. Out of focus. No. Oh, it has me in it? Is that the problem here? Let's see here, true mapping is on. There's a car. Which one of these? I can't figure out which. There's the sun. 1, 2, 3. The right of the sun? Nope, that has control points. Control points? Oh, really? Surprised by this. Just want it to work. I think it has the right settings. I think that's probably why. Do a new one. Which one was last? Last image is 552. 2. A lot of images. HDR. Jesus. Oh, that's right, I did do a bracket. I could have listed by type, and I wouldn't have to do this. 552, I went too far. All right. That one. I think I shot with an 11mm, right? 11mm lens. My sensor sizes. Full frame. What's happening to this issue for? Oh. Taycan 11mm. Okay, it knows the millimeter. It doesn't know the camera though? Alright. Now I'll enable HDR mode. Choose this option if the images were taken handheld. Nope. Go, we'll align the images. Come on. I'm playing a slot machine here with this HDRI program. Figure it out. Usually do this tone mapping thing, one of these. I think I can do these individually. Go to seems to be having issues with the sun here. Stuff not being rotated. So I'm gonna try. Nope. Rotate the sun there. It's like they're not in order. So I've got the sun there and then there. There and in there. If we exclude this one. No, not that one. Try it again. I'm gonna make this one. Take this one out. Maybe this is what's confusing. This one. I need one of them. Maybe not. Great. So let's align this shit. Still having issue with that one spot. Image 12. Right. So we'll just remove image 12. What's the freaking sun? Alright, so we'll go here. This is really dumb. Line in the middle. Middle. It's literally what it wants me to do, is just put spots in the images so that the way they can align properly. It's like, why this thing can't figure out that this is the sun. Let's see if this works. Usually it requires a bunch of points, but man, I never thought I'd shoot this thing. So they have spots. Sun. Okay. All right. Says this works. View it. Amazing. It figured it out. Wow, that was a process. Surprised you guys are still here. I would have left. I'm just kind of getting this. What this thing looks like. I like the other one better. All right. Perfect. Close that. Now create my panorama. I want to do HDR. Oh, HDR panorama. EXR with alpha. 32-bit. None. And we'll create that sucker. Yeah, you know, it's usually when I have other people on too, is when I'm doing stuff. I'm actually going to go back to our CGI place here. Actually, I save this. I saved it into that folder, I guess. Oh. So then what I'll do here, you guys can see everything. It's acting like it just crashed. What I'll do here is I'll go to my V-Ray. So I want to change. I want to save this, right? That's what I do. Save something different. So I'm going to do this test. I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in. So what I'm trying to do is create an HDRI with the V-Ray dome. V-Ray dome. Just for reference, another thing I did here, where I actually do this. If you see here, there's this ball. What the ball is for is it's my shadow in this area. So if I go to, so in order to create the other version where I didn't have the background, I'm going to add a sun here. V-Ray sun. I would just stop notifications. Yes. So this is just my like quick way of getting the environment to be the sun rather than the background image. See how I did that? So this ball here, go to properties, visible here. I have that off. Turn that on. You can see this ball that I have. It's made out of just black rubber, essentially. What I've done is it enables me to cast shadow. Moving my sun around here. Put into the shot. Bring my camera up so you can see what I'm doing. This enables me to then have the sun cast a shadow onto the flowers. And that would basically represent the car. Now, another thing I had done was, like if I got on my materials here, I had done just the shiny ball that I used. Click on this. So this chrome ball here. Another thing I did from one of these shots. Let me see which one it was. I start doing something and then I change. Wheel shot. These are the actual ones. The wheel shot had the. There it is. You see the poppies being reflected into there? It wasn't in the actual shot. So what I had to do was I created a chrome sphere. I'm going to change my sun settings here. I think I am actually like a 5 when it's a 1. My camera settings here. 300 speed. 300. ISO 50. F-stop. So you can see it. We'll go to. So the cool thing is, so like, all right, with my camera, I can take my target, which is this object here. Oh, it's actually on the sphere. We'll zoom in with the camera then. Go down here, select the camera, and I can just zoom right in. I'm in the sphere. Didn't want that. So literally, no, that's actually not shiny enough. Looking for a super reflective. Select my ball here. Yeah. So I basically needed the reflection to mimic the shots that were there. So I just acted like this was a vehicle. I love my camera, so this makes more sense. Camera. Yeah, definitely getting that faster video card. Or not video card, but the processor. Is that what that is? You know Stevie. You know what I'm talking about. Right? My camera here. Get into my bushes a little bit. This is my whole world here. No perspective. I can tell where I'm at. Alright, I'm gonna get a little lower. Wow. We are freaking legorific here. It's probably better POV. Oh, this is so pretty. Wait, what was that? I'm looking at this right here. There was this little... I lost it. It was a mistake or something. There it is. That's so pretty right there. I don't know what that is. I have ADD. Probably just a little swirl effect. Anyways, I'm trying to come above. I'm going to duplicate this. Make it silver. Duration. We have chrome. Back to my ball here. So I couldn't have any color in this thing or it wouldn't have worked. There we go, chrome. Because then I can put that pinkish, purplish color that they had there. Say, on my camera. Sorry, I just want to make sure all the questions get answered here. So, right, the camera. Get high just enough above the flowers. Right. So what I would do is then use this particular reflection of this object and act like the vehicle. Imagine this is the car. I'm just trying to get the angle just right to where that's what the vehicle would look like if it were there. A lot of energy put into just explaining something for a point. Now I'm intrigued. That's how I did the reflections, was just making this giant ball dummy thing. And I can actually go, I do this, I have to go to my materials window, or my environment. Pop that window up. See, it's got this V-Ray sky in here. If I drag my background image into here. It'll pop up in my render window. See, and then I kind of get to see what that looks like. That's how that works. Do that. All right, I'm gonna go with my dome. Actually, you know what? We're gonna take a potty break. I'll be right back. Enjoy the music, people. Yay. All right. Welcome back, party people. I'm glad it's Friday. How's everybody weeks go? You guys have a good week? You're so quiet out there. I'm always worried I'm talking too much, but then people get mad if I don't talk. So it's like, it's a lose the win, right? Great. Well, we'll continue. So I'm just going to go back to here. And then, right. I'm going to leave this out just in case. Basically, we're going to add our V-Ray dome, sun, parameters. I don't want a sun. I want a light. There we go. Here's the dome. Doesn't really matter where. Drop it in there. I'm going to make a V-Ray bitmap. I'm going to choose our HDRI that I just made. There it is. I'm excited. I have no idea what this is going to look like. There it is. Sometimes I go to the bathroom and I forget to unmute myself. There it is. I'm going to plug this all the way across into our map here. Okay. It's very green. I have to adjust some settings. But I think one thing I'm going to do is, let's go to our camera here. Back to the whole scene. Back up. Back up. There's 2 domes in there. What the hell happened here? 1, 2, or 3. There, that was happening. The wrong tool. All right. The camera back up a bit. Thank God it's Friday. Quite the week, dude. Gonna get out of the weeds, literally. All right. What's there? I think I want to bring in my Lamborghini. Front. There we go. Or not. Apparently, it doesn't like HDRIs. And let's see. Well, that reopens. Poor viewers, we're moving on up. I gotta say, I do love the Pirelli P0s, man. Those tires. I'm gonna confess, from 2005 to 2006 to 2009. The Porsche 911 black on black convertible is my favorite thing in the world. I went through P0s like every 6 months, dude. I'd wake up. I lived in West Hollywood. I would wake up. I would go up at like 5 in the morning. I would hit Little Canyon Boulevard, right? Just go over the hill as fast as I could. Anybody else do that? Live in LA? I know there's some California people in here. Man, that was the best. I remember one time I hit a corner so hard, and the right side dropped in, and then the second my wheel caught, it popped me back out, and I was like, it's the last time I do that. I thought I was going to go flying. It was not fun. All right. Materials. Oh, you know what? I think that happened is because I had my I had the render view up, and while I was doing that, I think it was like, too much information. My environment set up. You guys can see enough. Although I am probably going to turn off my slideshow here for you. Slideshow. Boom. There we go. See more there. See in double, whatever. So, get my HDRI in there. My layers. I didn't save my V-Ray plane, so I'll add a new one. I'm gonna turn my forest off just for shits and giggles. Although, you know what? I should probably get my camera angle right first. Maybe best. My render view back up here so it works. V-Ray frame buffer. There we go. Stop that. What's up? Oh, cool. It kept the camera the same. It was after I started messing with it. Perfect. Oh, maybe we'll bring in our Lamborghini now. Excited. We need XREF. Wait. All right. It's Friday, right? Okay. I pick up my kid. Not they charge you like an arm and a leg. And I was sick this week on top of it. It's fantastic. I believe the last thing I see. We have Lambo tutorials. Go ahead, date. Let's see. 3 recover. I don't need all the other crap that's in there. Front road. Ooh, road. What was I thinking? Front daylight. That's the last one we did. Do that one. Wait. That's right. I did. Oh. The studio setup. Well, they're in here. All right, let's use this one. Put all duplicates. Auto rename. Right. Oh. Yeah, probably merge materials. The pinwheel of death. At least I didn't mute my mic this time. All right. Should have a Lamborghini in here somewhere. Going to, so it doesn't, oh, there's the Lamborghini, the rig. There's the old stuff. I don't want this stuff. So we can just get rid of this old stuff. Delete this. All right, guys, give me a second here. The junk. Oh, stuff from this scene. Dirt ground, we don't. Oh, you know what? Skip the dirt ground. Box we don't need. Delete. Cool. I don't need my. This crap either. Needs to be on in order to delete it. Cool. Ooh, Lamborghini. It's exciting. All right, so make sure the plane is the same. I'm gonna save. Save. I don't want to lose this. I'm getting excited, guys. How about you? I'm super excited right now. This layer. Nothing in there. Delete that. The rig. If I select this, it'll give me all the. There we go. Just need to get it to our camera, but I want the ground as well. I'm gonna turn the forest off so I don't mess up everything. Top view, front view. Okay. I'm gonna take this. Put it. You know, if I zero, oh, can't zero it out. I need music. Sorry, guys. Wish I had music on this. I was going to figure that out, but I just didn't have any time. Really scales a little off, but I think that might be okay. I'm going to fix this background to be the background of our scene. Not what I wanted. To drop my son in there. We got it. Let's get this right first. So I'm going to turn my plane on from my plants. So we're all in a happy place. To be about. I do orthoscope. I can't do orthoscope. I am a perspective. There's the background. I'm going to turn my clips. That. I love this Lambo. It's my favorites. And I'm looking for another car. The material. The materials on. I go through my. Oh. Fresh that. Don't crash on me. Lamborghini. Yeah, I'm happy. I should have started a new video because now I've got a Lamborghini and a Porsche demo. People can get really mad. The Germans are going to be like, we came here for a German demo. Now you have, what, Lamborghini's Italian? Anybody know? All right, bring this closer to the camera. If I go to my top view, figure out what my egg is, and that should tell me. Actually, I already have my, wow. Close to there. I'm just trying to match the angle of the Porsche that's there just for reference. I'm going to bring it up. Never get this to work right. You see under the Lambo or the Porsche? I don't think we do. That shot go. Our line is right there. Yeah, close. Where are my cameras again? Camera's there. Oh no, it's back here. I just gotta change my target. So what I'll do is I'll go to my camera target, top view, zoom. Is it that windy outside? I think it's windy. We're gonna look. Time for a weather break. We can check the weather. Windy, early, high surf advisory. We're going to the beach, bro. Don't want to buy houses. Oh. Just 23 miles an hour. That's probably why I hear the wind. All right, focus, camera. And go here to this window, and go to this little star-looking thing. I'm looking here, because right now my focus is all the way back here. I'm gonna move my focus back to the vehicle. Go back to my plane. Not that plane. That plane off to the ground here. Cool that I'm getting a shadow already on my ground. Move this height down. Turn my forest off so I can't tell. I should probably turn it on. Go with the background of the scene. I want the car a little bit higher. I'm gonna rotate it so I can kind of match the lighting there. I have that snap to grid on. A tiny bit more. Turn it off. Good. I like that. So I'm gonna get rid of my background image by just doing a quick V-Ray Sun here. Or not. Yes. All right. Wow, it's bright. So I will delete that. Go with the one that was there. I'm gonna turn my forest back on. So exciting. I did go to a white dirt. Go back to dark dirt. The forest is coming in. Where are the flowers? No? Probably because I have to change the amount of forest that I have. Probably freaking out because there's so much information. It's the only reason it would tell me in the logs it would. Blah, 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 blah. Peak memory. Yep. I'm going to delete my lens. Oh, that lens effects does look cool. I'll keep it. Hey guys, welcome. If you're just joining us, we've gone from Italian vehicles to Germans. From German vehicles to Italian vehicles here. We're dropping the Lambo into a poppy background. So I'm going to go to, let's see, I go to my camera here. Camera may have changed. Camera one. Visibility to 3%. Make 8%. All right, still at max limit here. Change the visibility, fall off density to 80,000 centimeters. Show me the flowers. 80,000. Did I go up? I did. Is it 800,000? It is 800,000. Still nothing. Let's try 80,000, see what it does. You mean flowers? No. Turn the fall off. Display. Cloud points. Blah, 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 blah. Use, sure. Mesh proxy. Max items. No, I won't. Oh, if I hit refresh here, my render, still nothing. I feel like I'll make this visible. Make sure it's not some render issue here. Right, we got our big rubber ball. I'll turn the plane off, the dirt ground. I'll turn the Lambo off. Maybe that's the problem. Let's go. My forest still isn't showing up. My distribution might be too tight. That's probably it. I'm gonna go with 56. Streaks 2. Why doesn't this want to work? Absolutely nothing. Check my surface areas, make sure it's attached to something. I've seen this have issues before. Areas. Surface area, ellipse 1, egg. Right, okay. Surfaces. Plane 1, plane 4. There's our plane 1. Like problem solving in real time. Here's my camera. Still camera 1. Into our forest. I have this issue. After I brought in the Lambo. Alright, I'm going to change this visibility to like 10,000. Hey man, have a good one. Take care, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. You're the best. All of you are. You know what I'm talking about. All 3 of you. I see flowers on our freaking plane here. Nothing in the render view. Go to my render settings. The render settings window. Awesome. There we go. So it can handle 5 bushes. It's great. Crank that up. Distribution. It's back. Let's go 46. Give me a bush, fucker. Wood dense. Or nothing. I'm getting less and less here. This is going really well. My camera here. Turn those back on. Refresh. To understand my areas here and remove stuff that I was excluding. So we can remove that egg. Circle wasn't exclude, we'll remove that. And then ellipse 1 is an include. Remove that as well. So I just have my surface areas. I'm going to drop plane 4. The surface under areas, and when you go to surface, there's planes. Move this one. Refresh it. $15. What's this thing again? This thing to go further away here. Another 0 in there. There we go. See it popped up in here. Just need more bushes, bro. At this point, we're just down to distribution editor. Change this. See it change in front of our very eyes. At 20. There we go. I think I have one too many numbers in here. I'm going to change this to 57. Oh, too many. Getting warmer. And my patches too. We just did dents. And get rid of our clusters and just did random. Back to clusters. Fuck the random. Change this to 18. Nine. Five. Getting warmer here. 4. And we probably reached the limit. Okay, cool. That was the thing. Control S. Was really not needed. Once again, so glad it's Friday. I love this. I fix that. All right. Turn my plane on here. Dirt ground. Dirt ground original. Should be actually a dirt ground. I didn't move that though. Move that into place here. Actually a dirt ground. Looks like it. Wait, it's dirt on the other side. No. My materials window here. I'm gonna drop in some dirt. And I believe I can't do anything with the texture. So let's scale it up. Lower it. Turn off plane one. Get this height right. Turn on my Lambo. I'm ready. I'm gonna pause this thing so it doesn't. I don't F myself. Well, let me mix my areas first. Turn my egg back on here. Figure out where that space is. We're gonna use this to exclude from our forest. I don't need all this stuff up in here. I don't need to save this. Let's close this. Sure, I'll save it. Should prevent things from crashing now. Okay. Right. Surfaces has the planes. Areas. All right, so we're going to add our egg, right? Egg one. We're going to exclude. I'll make that smaller. Basically, what I'm trying to do is just create an area or a plane where we can drop this Lamborghini into our poppy fields. This is clearly still way too big. Clearly. I keep reminding myself, don't forget to pick up the kid. So I think what I have going on here is because of the scale of my forest, I have like 5,000 centimeters, 25,000 of space added to my fall off density, 85,000. Make that 2,500. Boom. This 2,000. There we go. It's a little better. That just applies the fall off on my ellipse. My egg. Give me space, brah. Almost there, I can feel it. That bigger. You know, I'm just gonna scale that a little long ways. Open that up. I think we're close to a place where we can start. Just gotta bring that ground up. Just don't like how light this is. scoot it back. Saving because so I still got to do that HDRI. Should probably do that before I turn on the Lamborghini. 6. Save again. I'm gonna pause my render window. It doesn't freak out. All right. Here's our HDRI. It's got to go into our V-Ray light. Add our V-Ray dome. No matter where, let it there. There's our light. All right. Be prepared. What's gonna happen? Don't crash on me, baby. Make sure my settings are right on here. 3ds spherical. There we go. Flip horizontal. That's usually the case. Or not. Change it to screen. Texture, environment, screen. Copy. I'm going to save this as something else because I'm afraid that if I have to open this back up again, it's just going to crash. Save it as something else. 1.1. Let's do 2. So we got workflow is like half the battle with this crap. All right. There we go. All right. So we're going to turn our sun off. Oh, that's my light source. We'll see. It's really dark. So we're going to go to our materials window. Click on this thing here. HDRI. We're going to make it, the output on it, a lot more output. RGB level 5. Yeah. It is midday on this fucker. So I'll go back to my sun. I'll remove my sun. Kind of, let's turn that off. I just want to just rotate this sucker first. All right, flip the right way. Do 3DX doesn't give me any options. If I do spherical, why am I seeing? Oh, you know what? I probably didn't set a horizon line in the HDRI software, so I'm gonna have to figure this out. Change this to 15. Close. 16 or 18. 20. All right. That's jacked up. Ain't right. These clearly aren't letting me. Alright, so no map coordinates. I want to preview this thing. Maybe it's messing it up. See what we're looking at here. I mean, that looks pretty, that looks right. It's really good, actually. It looks really good. Oh, getting wife texts. Hold on here. I'm just making sure. Okay. She's not in labor. It's good. Oh, this won't work. What's going on here? It's crap I have to deal with every day. It doesn't want to work. It doesn't want to work. Just gonna delete this. Make a new one. A general bitmap. That's definitely not what I want. Just do the same thing again. What was the HDR I created? OX EXR. There it is. Open. Yokes. It's asking me which channel. This is bizarre. Try this different. A new one. There. This is standard. I go to mirror ball. What we want. Spherical. This is what we... It was a messed up. I should just hit reload. Bummer, dude. Save. I go to environment, put it on screen. I'm gonna plug this puppy into our... Oh, wrong one. Real light. Got that sucker in there. Here we go. Dome. Default. Multiplier controller. Temperature. Map. Use the map. Like there's something I'm missing here. Let me go to, this should help me out. Let me render window. Go here. Nope. Alt B. Change. Synchronize with display. Use environment background. I think if I use environment background, okay. Go to my sky here. You guys can't see. Try putting this in here and see if that does me a thing. Synchronizes display mode. Use environment background. Still not showing me love. Start. Zoom out. Materials. I have this. Let's see this. I'm even having this problem. If I go to these. This is an HDR I've used before, so it shouldn't be a problem. Spherical. Environment. Output. 5. Alright. Just try that then. Settings. App. Plug you in there. This one works. Go to preview. I don't see a difference, y'all. Choose this one. I just want to get something. All right. I'm gonna rotate this sucker. Mm, 220, 30, 60. Let's go with 280. Go wider just to see what in the actual I'm looking at. Yeah, you too, potato. Nice to see ya. A little bit when Potato stops by. We're so tight. All right, camera. Go to 35. Figure out where the sun is. Bring the ground up here. Larger. Good enough. All right, I'm ready to turn on Mother Lamborghini. My camera a little lower. Oh, here we go. It's there. Gotta bring it down though. Select my Lamborghini. Just take the rig. This is the whole thing, right? Along with this thing. Oh, you know what? Standard wireframe. Default shading. Alt B. Use display. Does not want to show me. What if I do? I do this? No. Let me do that. It's fine. Car's floating in the air. I'll bring it down. Should be on the ground there. The problem is flowers are massive, so rather than make the car bigger, it's ants. Go to our forest. Gonna. So the reason why I'm changing the size and scale of the flowers is because if I do that to the vehicle, then the proportions of the materials change. So geometry. So I'm gonna make this scale. I'm gonna do 50% of that. All of them. 50. 50. That looks more realistic. Probably even go smaller. I think so. Spread out now. Here we are back to see. Released on ground with the vehicle. Where's my ground? That vehicle is on the ground. Right? I want to find out. Sitting comfortably in the ground. Let me turn off our giant sphere in the background. And I think we'll shrink the cluster. The egg. So big. So big. Pause this. I can work on this without it freaking out. We'll lock that. And we want that there. Scale it down to there. There's plenty of room. Now, I'll lower my camera angle. All right, we're good. One of these days, I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna be that awesome dad who forgets to pick up his kid. And then you get that walk of shame going in there. Everybody is excited because they're getting paid overtime by you, but is also pissed that they're still there on a Friday. That would be pretty bad on a Friday. All right, here's our camera. I don't have camera control though. I'm gonna do this. Here we go. All right, turn the render off. Although, you know, it's funny. I should be seeing my egg here. Shrink it. This should be showing up, at least in here. It's smaller, but it's not. Interesting. Let's save this. And we'll let this thing do its thing. Don't freak out on me, dude. Rendering. Like the camera's gonna be like right in a flower. All right, so we just gonna work on our disbursement here. Oh, yeah, and not be at 35 millimeter. I think is what we're at. Yeah, go back to 54. Good. I think you can change the f-stop to something like realistic, like a 3. Make everything darker. Change the speed to 175. I want to go slower. 25. I'm going to rotate our dome. What does this dome look like? If it don't have to be anywhere at a certain point in time. So we'll write the scattering on the forest. Let's get that done right. And we'll start having some fun here. I gotta do distribution. Or no, yeah, that's right. So nervous to change this. 25. Yeah, it's like it's not gonna do it. Okay. 35. All right. I want these clusters closer together. Full. Nothing. 40. 45. Show me flowers. Flower bitch. Come on. No. Alright, so no fulls. Let's try streaks. Streaks. I'm not getting any flowers out of this. Alright, so we'll just have to undo until I get where I was. Well, I feel like this thing doesn't undo the forest stuff that I do. Maybe it is. See, none of the forest properties are working now. What the fuck? Dude, CG's hard, bro. See, now it's changing camera exposure. So it doesn't keep track of anything that I did. In the undo history. Apparently it's its own thing. We're going to go to dense, which is where we were. Great. Clusters. What if we did random? Just slowly bring the density back. I have to do it this way. Really? Well, let me do streaks. Streaks are just too hard. God damn it. All right. I get what's going on here. All right. So maybe if I don't have to view so far back, I'll go change the camera. What am I at? Was that like 10 million here? Take the 0 out. Take a 0 out of here. Fall off. All right, cool. Actually, change that number to 5. I just hit 0. That's fine. Change the visibility to 12. Now we can up our density. But it's so weird that it's not. If I turn this thing off, what I'm going to do is go to my areas here and turn off my egg. If I turn on include, what does it do? If I do, I can add my Lambo. I'm going to add my rig here. If I had the rig as an area, it would. Nope, it's not doing it. Add Lambo. Exterior chassis. What I'm trying to do is get the flowers to not run into the car. At this point, I don't care. It's the final countdown. I have to go pick up kids' stuff. So we're at least going to get this right. Figure out where our egg is. Move it around. See if that affects where our flowers are. By the way, Adobe, if you're listening, I know I'd love to try your 3D stuff. You want to send it to me for the price of 0 per month, I would absolutely. Oh, you know what? I have this on include rather than exclude. That's why I'm not seeing any difference. I'd love to try it. I think they get like frustrated when I broadcast on Behance and they see all that stuff that's not Adobe. Exclude. That's too big. Back to our egg. Scale it. Scale down even more. Rotate this thing. There we go. Really wanted to use my Poppies HDR. I'm kind of bummed about that. Maybe it's just my settings. I can't let this go, so I'm just going to duplicate this one. So it's the exact same settings. We'll just change the image. All right, rewrite light. Click and drag across the goddamn screen. Click and drag. Click and drag. Instance. Hey, vato. Now we're talking, dude. I don't know what my settings were, but apparently they were wrong. There we go. We just got to going back to Cali. All right. Output 10. It is one thing I can never get to work on mine is the damn sun. He did 15 on his, didn't he? It's so bright though. Turn on our own damn sun. All right, take me to the sun, yo. There it is. There's our sun. Bring it down. I'm just gonna turn my ground off since technically this would be about the right brightness. Look at all. So I'm gonna go to my camera, change my exposure, turn the sun off. Go to ISO 160. Change my exposure to good name. It's not pretty. Is there a ground plane on here? What is this? There's like a ground projection on. Whoa! I don't see any difference between what was pre-existing and what I added. Change exposure settings back to what they were. ground plane to come back. There we go. Sun on. Here's the target. This side, bring the sun over here. Change the intensity to 5. Do anything. Interesting. Size multiplier 1. If it's too low in the sky, that would do it. Come on, son. Come on, son. There we go. Change my target to bring the sun up. Rotate this background here. Get a little darker. Try 12. Sun down. I'm gonna rotate this background. Save. $30. 60. 120. 160. It's close to where I was. 160. 195. 210. Oh, that's one of the less. 135. 210. 230. 250. We're getting close. 280. 310. It's pretty close. 300. 340. We're close. 310. 315. Yeah. 312. Boom. Bring down that exposure, that sucker. Make that a 10. 8. We got 6 minutes here. Get our sun. Two. All right, gotta go to environment here. Oh, I still want more flowers. Save poppies. I think I'll end up breaking this into 2 parts. Lambo. Oh, don't lose everything. It's because I hit my forest. Lamborghini. I'm going to rotate it. Snap to grid. Bring our sun up a little higher. I'm liking where this is going. Definitely need some tunes though. Change that to 0.7. And let's get some more flowers. And we'll call it. How everything got selected. Flowers, flowers. It's the final countdown. We're almost there, guys. Thanks for whoever stuck it out this long. I'm impressed. I'm impressed you were here the whole time. If you were. Go to our distribution here. Just gonna ever so slightly. 62. Dude. Oh man, I want to go change that to like 58. So close. Let's keep clocking this thing down here. So you can see the spread of the distribution. It's really cool. It's like scaling it in and out. I like what's going on. I feel like I need to move my egg. On my camera. I want to. I always thought, I'm like, man, you know what's so cool about CG? I can choose whatever camera angle I want. I don't have to worry about time. The sun setting. And then I'm in CG and all I do is sit there and not make up my mind about the camera angle. That's great. Ooh. I bet you. That's stuff I want to do, but I'm going to scale down my egg. I'll pull my camera back. I love using these tools. These ones are the most fun. Too far. Back a little bit. Change it. So close. Move my egg forward. And then I'm going to lower my camera target. So excited. How are you guys? But I am lit. All right, forest. Oh my god. Are we late to pick up the kid? Okay, 2 minutes. 2 minutes force pack. I just want more. Poppies. More puppies, please. More puppies. Change this 5 right here to a 1. Clusters. You didn't like clusters last time? What tighter clusters? Ish. Change this to 48. I can actually change the height variation here. Go 110. Make the minimum 65. Sample my ground. Sample. I want my ground darker. Oh yeah, I literally have to go. Forest. Oh. Match the limit. We have it. I gotta go. It's a wrap. Thank you everybody for coming. I had a blast. You can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter for stock trades because I don't really post much art stuff on there. And yeah, Instagram, Twitter, Behance, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Hope you've literally enjoyed this just as much as I have. Is that it?